Yeah, what you're seeing here is a mod. Seeking Projectiles, a mod that I'm gonna cover for, I think, like the third time in like 4 years. Not much, but I figured it'd be great to give it a revisit because it's a really interesting mod with a lot of possibilities, needs to say. Today's challenge is to see if we can beat an elite boss with it, and not just on an ordinary map. This is a pretty tough map, needless to say. Oh, and also, shouts out to myself for remaking this Seeking Projectiles mod. For those listening only on audio, I mean myself the user, not myself. There's several towers that I'm particularly excited to try out, especially for the end tiers. But for now, focusing on the early tiers, get an NFT on around 6 here. Sadly, Geraldo doesn't really benefit from Seeking much, but his shooting turret will, and I'm gonna get that before I sell it for a farm. Let's see. It sadly can't cover all 4 lanes on Ravine, but it certainly can cover this. And what's great is that it doesn't need to be a straight line. The Seeking is quite sharp, so it can snag balloons at a pretty decent angle, although it's still limited by range, so just note that. I did say earlier the Seeking is pretty sharp, but still not sharp enough to seemingly handle round 13, so I'm gonna say for, I think, a plane next. This is notoriously the most inaccurate upgrade of all time, so having all 8 shots Seek, kind of like a never miss, basically makes it like a $4,000 tower for only $495. I say we spam the bejesus out of these in the early game. If this was 2018, I would have said spam the shit out of it. Anyway, it's a shame we can't get lead popping on the ace, so we'll have to do something that benefits from Seeking absolutely zero whatsoever. Other than that, ace goes hard. I have to buy stronger acid, by the way, because this round is so insane that, well, there's fortified leads on Dread Bloons AI round, so that was needed. Shit, this ran better off just buying a 200 Alk. Let me see. Yeah, we leaked 1, we leaked 2. F it. Let's just get it over with. And now that we got the NFT on round 30, I think we'll go ahead and get some village upgrade now. Sell this, and how about a Monkeyopolis? Simple as. It's quite badass that a 0-0 ace has been able to mostly solo these rounds here, but it's time to finally give it some upgrades. I think having more Pierce is nice in preparation for round 36. And also these cerams here, yeah. This is what I'm telling you guys when we've got Never Miss at home. Granted, probably needs an out buff, and that will finally make it complete. Perfect. I think now is probably a good time to try out something not the ace and see what's actually OP with the Seeking Projectiles. But honestly, ace is far and away the best option. So it's very hard for me to pick something other than that, but I will have to once I hit military, and that's probably where I'll pick a primary tower, because, you know, then it can cover all 3 after the ace is done with the first. Now, the ace has an issue of not having full lead popping. That could be remedied if I, say, do 3-2-0 and then another AMD buff, as many of them around the ace as possible. 50% chance it lands on Geraldo because I put him in a kind of bad spot, but that, again, is probably my best bet if I want just this ace to do all the damage, and I think I can. Dread Bloon is nice and slow, so I'll certainly take my time here. Plus, this map is actually sneakily long, at least if we're talking about for boss standards. And oh my god, 35 lives. I'm sure I'm gonna take this. That was a result of the Seeking going the wrong way and not first, so I guess I gotta change center path to be a little bit closer to down here then. Third central market. Okay, this is far too slow. Also, there's an F mob, so quickly ODS so that we get 16 darts per volley, so, and twice as fast, so aka 4 times the damage. Only issue is that, does it use AMD too quickly? Or are we still good? Looks like we're good. First goal is about to hit now, and now to unleash what I probably think is the strongest tack. I don't know why I went top path tack, probably because it didn't have, what do you call it? The lead popping. But yes, let's get that quickly. Hang on. Need to get me an overdrive here. With that. Nope, I'm dead. Leaking that ceramic earlier hurt me, so let me go back in time. Okay, I think I also just have to be a bit more prepared for the military phase. So we bought a bunch of stuff in advance. Now, the only issue is that the attacks will only seek once it's in range of Dread Bloon. And right now, there's nothing attacking it, so we get absolutely 0 DPS. But those attacks are putting in work. 2+ and Embrittlement, with all 16 of them hitting, or is it 32? I forget. Either way, a lot of projectiles in. Wait. The left side. I'm such an idiot. Okay, let's pause again. Okay, so I gotta sell that banana farmer. Get an overdrive here. And get one here. I'm gonna have to sell this. Sorry. It's the even round that is very scary. Because of the fact that, like, the rocks follow. They follow the targeting, or what the round spawns are from. I'm still dead also because of the damn camos. Seriously? This embrittlement doesn't catch them? God. Ravine is tougher beast than I expected. Okay, it's a bit ugly, but I think I finally cracked the code. Barely. We've got a camo popping on each lane, as well as one overdrive on each side. One is enough with outbuff, so keep note of that. God, if we could switch the round to 49 as soon as possible, though, that would be nice. Okay, let's also speed up the process, I think, with a Glue Strike. That'll give us a little bit more damage on Dread Bloon. And also the Rock Bloons, too. Granted, I think we got them covered now. But let's make it even faster. Come on, get through this, and then we can finally speed run the rest and not have to worry about Rock Bloons anymore. With the seeking of Tack, and mostly that ODS. Very, very, very nice. Now, with all these lights coming in, it would be a disgrace to not rub the gold then, but it's a little bit too late for that, eh? Yeah, a little bit too late, but at the very least, I can start selling a lot of my defense off to get back to farming. Finally, I can start to build some defense that I've always wanted. Balloon Trap would have been nice to have in the 40s, but this gets, even though the ace has full map range, this gets balloons before they even spawn out, so no chance for the ace to steal any. It's quite a late round for our Banana Central, but you know the saying, it's better to die trying than not. I think that's it. So there's a lot of options for what to do coming into Tier 2. Honestly, though, not really a lot if you're thinking about the most broken things. Like, you're looking at the two that you already saw, Attack, Ace, and basically anything that usually has a lot of their shots usually miss. I think one of those might be Kir Flagship. This spawns 3 subplanes that I think do get, like, the Seeking. You don't want to buy Grape Shot because I think that turns their radius into, like, 90 degrees. You'd rather a 360 attack, if I'm correct. Let me just see. Out of curiosity, yeah. Okay, so far, the mini planes are they? Well, I think they have to be close enough to a target for their radial attack to actually seek. Might be hard to see with the ODS in the way. Even if those radial attacks don't work, though, it's the forward firing gunner that is incredibly OP, because that always shoots straight, but, you know, them seeking, obviously, adds a hell of a lot more DPS to it. And kind of think about it, there's a lot more towers than I initially thought that already have seeking as part of the tower. Because just in my thought process of trying to think of what towers would be good, well, let's say we got this ninja, Grandmaster Ninja, forget about it. Also, I keep forgetting about camos. So what I was saying, though, think about it. In terms of tier 5s, we've got Pop Sidon. We've got the Super Monkey, which could be a Legend of the Night that does seek. There's also, I guess, the Archmage, and to a similar extent, the Glaive Lord, although things bouncing between targets isn't the same as full seeking. Not just that, but there is also towers that don't have projectiles at all that do pretty good damage, like a Beast Handler. Also, I just realized that we're not doing any damage because this is not lacking a MIP, so how about that real quick? So the Carrier Flagship can finally get some damage in, and please, let us get to military. So, I can unleash the Tax Zone and the Super Brittle combo. Now, the Tax Zone technically isn't getting affected here because, at least right now, if it hits the military, all 32 attacks are still going to hit, but once it starts getting a little bit more out of range, then that's where it starts to shine. Anyway, just bring on the Glue Strike and finish this off, please. But watch out. If it turns around 66, then we need to get another attack for the other side. And where's a Super Maelstrom where I can fit it under discount, or yeah, under discount? Not much, so I gotta sell some Alchemist for it, I think. One more Glue Strike, And this should about do it. Although, wait. 66 is about to start. Okay, I don't need to get a Maelstrom. We got this. 4,000 HP, and done. Beat all the rock boots in time. Awesome. Blink and you will have missed that we have now filled up every single map in farms with the 5 rounds of downtime that we had. Nice. I think I do want to unleash a Paragon next tier. Probably not a permanent Paragon, but just one to take out a good chunk. So probably attack while we already have 2 of the 3 tier 5s drop down. Might as well finish it off and get it in advance. So just like the other tiers, all we need now is just something. One thing to get through the first quarter of Dreadbloon. Don't know if I want to keep upgrading these aces here. But come to think about it, or at least a different perspective of this all-seeking mod, it's that it essentially just maximizes your tower, like, as if it was on top of the boss. So it never ever grants you more than the true raw DPS that you would have gotten, again, in the perfect circumstance, an ace on top of the balloon, or the attack on top of the balloon. It just does that if it's not on top no matter what. All that to say is that technically the Seeking Projectiles is more broken on, I think, high pierce stuff, like rounds with a lot of balloons rather than just single target, which we're doing on bosses here. And here's where I pitch my idea of when are they going to add a game mode or something that allows us to take on multiple bosses at once. Obviously there's a mod to do that, but perhaps that might be a fun thing to coordinate and make it so that we need to prioritize things not just with high single target boss damage, but also with pierce, so that you just can't keep doing the same towers every single time. Granted, the towers are still going to remain very similar, but hey, at least there is some variety when we do it that way. So I'm going to add a MAD because I'm kind of curious. Does the Seeking actually allow it to hit Dreadbloon through the obstacles? And the answer to that is no. Well, I see a couple, but barely. Let me see here. Use the MAD ability, and no, it's just dying. No, wait, it's on top. It's stacking the MAD ability on top of itself. That's not what I intended. And note, there is no error code I'm seeing. So this is not bugging out by any means. That's genuinely what the MAD does with this mod, which is a bit of a shame. Anyway, here's Sky Shredder. Bet you didn't expect this. Nah, what am I kidding? You definitely expected this, but I didn't expect I don't know, a wall of this, but that's also because Homeland's active. And Overclock too. Tack Paragon time? Yes, please. I didn't have any time to build any non-tack, so F it. Degree 4. That should do it. I'm very curious to see this one. Let me sell the Sky Shredder, just so it stops getting in the way. And it might be hard to tell right now. In fact, it almost feels like the tack is not seeking at all, because you still see a bunch of blades go that way. But again, I think that's because there is no balloon in range to seek to. I think that's what's required for a tower to be seeking. There we go. Use the ability for more range. And now you see it actually follow. Beautiful. And just as I was saying a couple moments earlier, this is exactly the premise of this mod. We're not technically getting more DPS this way on the tack, as opposed to if it was on top of Dreadbloon. But now, it's acting as if everything is on top of Dread here. Use a big nuke here to get to the next skull. And just keep spamming that attack ability. Honestly, here's my take. This is what the attack ability should do. So many times I find myself barely remembering to spam this ability, because when your attack is out of range and you use the ability, it doesn't do much boss damage anyway, because a quarter or how less of that percent of attacks are hitting. But if you had this ability to gain range and seek, then okay, that probably makes it too OP, and they'd have to nerf the main tower. But maybe some light seeking or something different. Oh, I don't know. I'm just yapping garbage here. Probably really bad ideas. Don't make me a dev. I would implement the worst things in the world. Get rid of the MAD too, because it seems like it is broke. Okay, I'm pretty desperate for Tack Pop, so I'm just gonna have the Super Maelstrom ability be on Tech Bot to siphon as many pops away. I think next year I'm gonna go ahead and get my Perma Tack Paragon, probably degree 60. And also these Paragon totems are not for the Tack, because remember, Cash Slider is more efficient on Tack Shooters. It's just only for the 2 cheapest Paragons, Tack and Dart. if it's 250k or above, like it is for the boomerang, then it's more efficient to start dropping these. But this is for the boat. Of course, it's only fitting that for seeking projectiles, the most broken paragons are the ones that already have the most broken tier 5. So I would say having a lot of the attacks hit for boat is good. But again, no main attack because it's down on the too low below the island. Although I guess I could get a low to the abyss. It's not too late to put it on land, eh? Just gotta remove maybe a BRF or it. So I'm gonna stick boat all the way in the frontier. Currently degree 44. How much is 60? I don't think I'll spend this much because I will have no money for attack otherwise. Although it's still 200k. Nah, we can save the money for other paragons later. This will be good for now. And we can, yeah, we definitely need a cash lighter for 60 here. So that's a fair choice. Okay, this should clear tier 4. I'm not sure about tier 5 though. And oh boy, I could go all the way up to 76 if I wanted. But that's not enough for 80, and I don't think the cost for all of those is worth 500k, you know? It's actually only 400. So I'll just do the number for the people, I'm sorry. I really gotta stop playing into it. It's weird how this number has caught so much fire. Isn't it also weird how on this map, like, Dreadbloom looks like it spawns in at the entrance, but it suddenly teleports like 20 pixels forward. It's strange. Anyway, go figure, boat absolutely shreds here. I wonder how it works with it hitting on both sides. Like, because that's how the boat normally shoots. Does it? Do the grapes on the other side also seek? It was hard to tell there. I'm gonna assume the answer is yes, though. And oh my god, someone give Dreadbloom more HP. Because this T4 is gonna be a joke. I just gotta make sure, again, to use the ability. If I don't have the ability, then the attack actually doesn't have enough range to reach the left side. And we actually might lose if we don't have something seeking. Jesus, maybe this is enough for tier 5. Shall we run it? If it's not enough, we can probably just give some, like, buffs to it too. I'm missing the NG Paragon, Ice Paragon, a lot of things. So those wondering, yes, I am skipping out on the Ace Paragon because I've done that before. And I don't like doing the same things twice, except drugs and cocaine. It's ironic that I make these jokes, yet I've never touched any of them in my life, and never plan to. I forget if Boss Challenge still has a 4 Paragon limit, but if it doesn't, then let me first get NG Paragon. It doesn't matter if it's a multiple of 20, or just at 20, because I don't plan to use them for damage, only as utility. Herald of Everfrost next at 4. And out of curiosity, make fake land here. Oh, wow. Okay, good. You can do more than 4 in boss challenge. Cool. We're going to put the Boomer Paragon all the way down in the dumps because this is just to give 10% extra attack speed to make the attack even stronger. Although, how did it do 3,000 damage here? Hello? Strange interaction, needs to say. What other Paragon support am I missing? I think probably just the Sub Paragon for CDR, but I don't think I need it. This is a pretty solid arsenal to work with, so let's bring it on. First, give Power Glove to this guy. Set it to last for the 10% attack speed, and here we go. Watch Dreadbloom blink. That's just silly. I think seeing the grapes here, they are coming from both sides, and the other side is seeking back towards it. So we're getting the damage as if Dreadbloom was on top of the Paragon, which it is right now, but I think sometimes the full damage doesn't apply. I don't know exactly, but that's some good damage coming from our boat here. Back on first, just in case. It's got to be a boat all the way through. And unlike normal, we're not going to lose too much DPS when it's a bit out of range. Because still, all of these grapes are getting all the damage in. And that's where a lot of the damage comes from. Cool. Now, give tack. Oh, Meteor landed on the wrong thing. Would do strong, but that also just targets rocks. I think we just got unlucky there. Blue Strike now. Now, for this ice ability, it's only worth using, actually, for the last phase. So, you don't want to use it now. Otherwise, you're going to see a military, like, into the magic phase. And then you're going to have the boat do no damage for 2 phases. So, it's actually better to only use it, I think, for the last part. Magic to support. There we go. Meteor landed on the right thing in this time, but it seems like we need some help. This is pretty good damage, but is it good enough? Now that the Ice Paragon is attacked, though, I definitely think I notice a bit of a DPS bump. I mean, who wouldn't when you see plus 10? So even though we're not skipping any immunities with the Ice Paragon ability, it's still good to use it because it skips the, like, the ceramic portion of Dread Bloon, which encompasses, I think, 67% of the HP. Yes, I mean it. Actually, I'm crunching the numbers real quick. It's actually closer to 69, but that still applies. Taking out one chunk of the ceramic is 69 divided by 4, so 17% less HP you gotta deal with just from timing the ice ability correctly. Can you believe that? So again, 5-second countdown. Now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here comes Skull Frozen. Beautiful. And attack has great damage, so it just blasts through. And we're gonna finish Elite Dread Bloon on Ravine with plenty of track length to spare. Both eking out pops, but I think a lot of it has to do with the balloons coming in, so... Attack's still the MVP of this challenge, of this mod. And I'm glad I returned to it, because the last time I tried seeking projectiles, the attack paragon actually wasn't released, so... This was my first time seeing it, and I was pleasantly surprised, and I'm pleasantly surprised that this did 2 million damage somehow. I guess the global range applies no matter the height, who knows. Anyway, as I was talking about earlier, I've covered this before, so if you want to see the Ace Paragon Seeking, check out this video. Bye.